last section of your day, you're gonna spend some time with me, and we are going to learn a little bit about the background on Veterans Day. I know you guys know Veterans Day is coming up when?
This Friday.
This Friday. Wait, no.
This
Friday.
This Friday. This Friday. Yep, because you guys are going to the parade. Yes. So, can anybody tell me what Veterans Day is? Corey?
It's when people who come from the army come home and kind of have a big celebration.
Kind of, you're right. It does have something to do with the military. Who is a veteran?
People that used to work in the army, and they get to be like recognized for it,
Mhm.
and they get like promotion.
Yep.
They just get that they just get a total.
Yep, Aspen is right. So, veterans are people who are serving or have served in the military. So we talk a lot about the Army, but there are other parts of the military too, right?
Mhm.
We know the Army really well because we have a base really close to us. Does anybody know the name of that base? Avery?
The name of it is
Fort
Fort Riley.
Fort Riley. You are right.
I was gonna say Starbase.
I got said Fort Riley.
So, does anybody know how Veterans Day began? Cheyenne?
Like they probably thought that when the military people, the soldiers came and they decided, oh, well, we don't give them enough, like, hello, welcome back home, so let's, like, celebrate that they're, like, alive and they're here with us. And
Yeah,
they're saving our country.
Yeah, I agree. It is really important that we recognize the veterans and active military in our community and give them thanks, because there are probably a lot of sacrifices they make, right?
My uncle was in the military.
And we have a lot of students here whose parents are in the military. And so it is really important that we honor the sacrifices that they've made and are continuing to make every day. I am gonna show you a really short video that shows you the background of Veterans Day. Please back and get it to work for me. Miss Mellon, I may ask for your help.
Sure.
Oh, there it is.
But bet you didn't know the whole story behind the holiday. For starters, it wasn't originally called Veterans Day, but Armistice Day, to commemorate the truce signed between the Allies and Germany in World War I on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. The first Armistice Day in the U.S. was celebrated on November 11th, 1919. All business was suspended for 2 minutes starting at 11 a.m., and parades and public gatherings were held to commemorate the occasion. Later, America also began honoring its unknown soldiers on Armistice Day, a tradition that continues today. At 11 a.m. every Veterans Day, a color guard ceremony represents all branches of the military at the Tomb of the Unknowns in Arlington National Cemetery. In 1954, the name was changed to Veterans Day, following a national campaign to have the day honor all veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And did you know, for 7 years, Veterans Day was actually celebrated in October? In 1968, Congress moved Veterans Day to the fourth Monday in October, so that government employees could enjoy a long weekend. But in 1975, President Gerald Ford returned Veterans Day to November 11th due to the historical significance, and that's where it sits on the calendar today. And do you know the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day? Both of them honor those men and women who have served in the military, but Memorial Day honors America's war dead, while Veterans Day honors all American veterans, living and dead. The U.S. Census Bureau estimates that there are currently over 21 million living military veterans in the United States. More than 16 million of these served during times of
was armistice. Armistice is a word that we heard in this video because Veterans Day used to be called Armistice Day. Does anybody remember what armistice meant? I'm looking for other hands from people I haven't heard from. I've heard from 4 people. All right, Rory.
Is it that, like, people who have, that they're known for serving in the military and, like,
Not quite. You're thinking of a veteran, and that is, oh my goodness, I'm going out of order. So you're right, veteran was the first word I have up here. And you're right, veteran was someone who has served or is serving in the military. Okay? Our next word is ally. They mentioned the word ally in there. And I bet this is the word that some of you guys have heard of. Landon?
Ally, like, kind of peace with somebody else or somebody you can trust.
Yes, I love that definition of ally. Ally is someone that we work together with. So us as the United States.
Pardon the interruption. Mr. Evan, if you're in the building, please come to the office. Mr. Evan, to the office.
So sometimes, as the U.S. military, we work with other countries in a war, and they are known as our allies. So that's someone that we are working with rather than against. Okay? All right. Our next word is armistice. Armistice. Aspen?
the people who, served for, World War I.
Not quite. So Veterans Day used to be called Armistice Day, and they originally created Veterans Day to celebrate what? Cheyenne?
Veterans Day because, to honor all of the veterans, dead or alive.
Yeah, that's true. So armistice actually means peace, and that's because at the end of World War I, what they thought was going to happen was that we would have worldwide peace. So they thought, we finished World War I, a lot of countries were involved, and now that we've resolved that conflict, we should now see peace throughout the world. Correct. 30 years later, we have World War II. So we weren't actually as close to universal peace as we thought we were at that time. So we did think that after World War I, we were going to see peace throughout the world, not only in the U.S., but everywhere. And that's not quite what happened, but what we intended to do with Veterans Day was celebrate the peace that we thought was coming. Okay? And so the last word I have on here is peace. Can anybody tell me a definition for the word peace? Max? Maxon?
It's like when you think it's gonna be calm and there isn't gonna be any, they thought it wasn't gonna be war, so it was gonna be calm, there wasn't any wars anymore, and everyone would be peaceful, and we wouldn't have to call out everyone to go and
Yep, I agree. So in our country at that time, we thought peace is going to happen, everyone's going to get along, there are no more wars, and the rules that we see in our country are just going to be followed. Everyone can follow the same roadmap for building their country and running their country the same way that we do, and that's what we see as peace. Do you think that our idea of peace is the same as the idea of peace everywhere else? No. We probably have ideas, ways that we run our country that are different in other countries. Has anyone else been to another country? Yeah? Was it exactly the same as in the US? No. Like, Abdul, I know you came from Afghanistan. Was Afghanistan the exact same as the United States? No. I'm sure you could tell us that there are a lot of differences between Afghanistan and the US. But the way that we see peace is what we thought we were gonna get after World War I. Okay? Alright, so that's what we assumed was coming. And it's not quite what we got. So there are a couple questions, and these are pretty high level questions. When I was thinking about what I wanted to do with you guys, I looked up online ideas about Veterans Day and what I really wanted to teach you. And what I chose was something that they suggested for middle school. But after working with you guys, I know that you guys are really intelligent and you are a very high level thinking group. You guys know what you're doing. You can think through big ideas. And so what I chose is 2 questions that I want us to think about and eventually write about by the end of today. Okay? So the first question that I have for you is, do you think universal peace is possible?
No.
Yes.
So, I already hear that we have some conflict. We don't all agree. What I want you to do is choose a shoulder partner to quietly discuss if you think universal peace is possible. Go.
I think it is because there's always something. There's never going to be something. Nobody, so there's never be universal peace. So that means nobody will ever think. Nobody will ever think that there's a problem, which there always will. So we have to know universal peace would be everything's good.
It's up to you guys. I mean, I have
Universal if you're Russian, I'm the United States.
Oh, right. My timer went off, but it didn't make any sound because my phone's on silent. Alright, so I am gonna ask for your attention again. And I wanna know, thumbs up if everybody agreed with their shoulder partner.
I didn't have a shoulder partner.
Next time, we're gonna do this again. Just join 2 people next to you. And you can have a group of 3, okay? So, did everybody agree?
No. Most
No.
people.
I heard some people say yes, but I heard some people say no too. And then there were a couple maybes that I heard. Like the group I spoke with up here said maybe, eventually, but Connor and Abdul did you guys think that that's something that can happen right now? No. So Connor, when I spoke to him, said, no, probably not in our lifetime, is what his opinion was. But I heard some other people say, yeah, I think we could do that. Okay? So, I want you to hold on to that because I want to hear it when you're writing. Okay? I know, but that's where I want to hear it because I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me exactly what you think in your writing. I'll give you paper to do that here in just a second. Okay? Give me a few. The second question that I want us to think about is, what do you imagine a peaceful world would look like? Okay? I'm going to give you another minute to talk to either a different shoulder partner than you talk to, or someone in the row in front or behind of you. But remember, even though we're breaking our rows, our voices need to stay pretty calm. Okay? Go ahead and start.
Pretty much.
no more tragedy. Like, go to work, but if it ever did happen,
Do you think we need to have a
except for
But see, that's the point about universal pieces, we wouldn't have it. Do you think that's something that we can do? Conflict in order to live? Alright, now class, I'm gonna call your attention again. Alright, so I heard some answers I didn't expect. I expected every one of you walking into here to be able to tell me what you thought a peaceful world would look like. Was everybody able to imagine that?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I heard a couple people that were not able to imagine what a peaceful world would look like. I heard some people say they didn't think that universal peace was even possible. And then I heard a comment that I'd like to share with you guys. I heard someone say, we couldn't survive without conflict. We couldn't survive in peace. So I want you guys to think about that as you are working on your Oreo map. I want you guys to think about whether universal peace is actually possible and if we could survive with universal peace. Okay? So this is the next thing we're gonna do, is we are going to write an opinion paper. Okay, so I gotta hear a little bit of what everybody said, but I wanna hear your opinions, not your neighbors, not Miss Brown's, not Miss Mallon's. I wanna hear your opinions and what you think about whether universal peace is actually possible. We have a couple other things I want you to write about. I'm gonna go ahead and hand these out to you. So we are gonna do Veterans Day Oreo writing. And I've left this Oreo on the board. So I'm gonna go through it with you. The Oreo process is something that we use when we're writing about our opinions. Has anybody ever heard of this?
No.
Yes?
No.
Some of you might have heard of it a little bit, but probably not a ton. Okay? So Oreo writing is how we cleanly and constructively write about our opinions. Okay? This is how we organize our papers when we're trying to write our opinions clearly and persuasively. Okay? So first, on the Oreo process, you have to know your opinions. Okay? You have to know your opinions. So you have to be able to decide what your opinion is about this topic. So the first question that I have on here is if you think universal peace is possible. That's the first thing that I wanted to write about. And then we are going to go on. We're going to write about if universal peace is possible. You have to be able to tell me 2 reasons and then give me a support for each. So I need to know why you think universal peace is or isn't possible. And then I want to know why you think that. Okay? So don't just tell me, yes, I think it's possible, good to go. Okay? I want you to think really hard about why you believe that. And then use your reasons to try and persuade me. Okay? That is the purpose of our paper. You as an author, I would like to hear you persuade me about your opinion. Okay? So, do you think universal peace is possible? Reason 1 and 2, an example for each. And then I'd like us to move on to what do you think a world of peace would look like? If you can imagine it. Okay? If you can imagine a world of peace, what would it look like to you? Okay? Up in the corner, I'm going to draw your attention. I've stapled something up here that just gives you the outline for your piece of paper. Okay, so in a minute, I'm going to have you grab a whiteboard, pencil, and then this outline, and find a place in the room to work. You can work around a group, but I don't want to hear your group's opinions. I want to hear your opinions. Okay? All right. Hold on just a moment. Connor, or Miss Mallon, where are whiteboards for your class?
Okay. By the
Okay,
way,
would you be able to grab those and pass them out to each person in the room, please?
if there's not enough, then get clipboards. There should be enough whiteboards. Connor, I'll help. Want me to help? No, I'll do it. I don't have enough.
All right. So while he's doing that, I'm going to reiterate that this piece of paper is a rough draft. When you are finished with this, I do have a paper for you to write your final draft, but this does not have to be super organized and your final draft. This is where I want you to write your thoughts. I want you to write what you're including in your paper. All right, so if you would like to move to a place that is not your desk, go ahead and do so quietly.
I'm all done. I found a razor.
Are the erasers?
Look. Am I going to use the board or no?
You don't have to use the board. Yeah,
I'll never use the board.
yeah, you can use that if you want to, but if you're gonna stay at your desk, you can just use your desk. Okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to bump it.
How do you spell future?
Future?
I thought it was
Yeah, that's it. See, he didn't even need me. PUT, like I put this here, PUT. Yeah, that's what I want you to do.
You were gonna say no,
No,
you don't.
no,
Yeah, I was like, oh,
thanks
no.
for clarifying.
So I said no because when me
Gianna, did you find
Yeah,
it?
but you're supposed to say.
I'm not supposed to say that.
there's no
A social studies, yeah. So it kind of split the ELA.
I didn't know.
No? I did not see, that's so small. Can you make it so? Yeah. It's gotta be bigger than that, I've gotta be able to read it. Yeah, so you see how these words are written, how big those are? That's what I want this to be, that's how big I want your letters. Okay. How's it going, Alex? Good?
So my reason was overfilled colleges, lots of people.
Do you think we'd see colleges get too full if we had a universal piece?
Too many houses. Not enough houses. Lots of
Sorry, I'm ready.
They have to work harder, which means more debt, which is more people not being
Okay, I'm gonna pose something to you. Why can't we build more houses?
you think peace is possible?
I know that we have a lot of farmland. We have a lot of uninhabited land in the U.S. Do you think we could fill that?
Do you know why we need that peace? No fighting, no
farmers.
wars.
If we were start
Everyone gets
building on
along.
that farmland, then we wouldn't have enough food to feed the
Either. But why don't you think?
Okay. I like it. Tell me about it.
Absolutely.
These says reason, this says reason.
Yes, yes, there you go. Reason number one.
Give me a reason, and then tell me an example of why you think so.
I would put that one, what you just told me.
is the reason. You think universal peace?
So on this one, it's really just a yes or no, but then down here, you're gonna be. So here, in this one is where I would put what he just told me about, how each country has their own rules, languages.
I'm gonna send that.
Yeah, because we still have conflict right now.
I feel like I have empty glasses here. I feel like I have empty glasses
Kind
here.
of similar reasons. Is there anything else, any other reason that you think no ways that couldn't work? Besides each country being different? You think what? Yeah, well, absolutely. I think that'd be perfect. Yeah, there's two reasons. That each country is different. And then include like languages.
We spell H. H. Yeah. Each country are different.
Oh,
I know a couple of times.
E-A-C-H. That's
So that's really just kind of yes or no on that box. And then you put your reasons down below. Yeah, so pretty much it's yes or no.
Because we have so much conflict.
So for example, I'm just gonna don't steal this, but Abdul, one of his reasons is that each country is different. And an example of that could be they speak different languages, or they have different religion, right? That would be an example.
Miss Mom,
Yep.
is this country?
What are you thinking so far?
No, which will make the paper workers die, and people's countries also die because they're overworking.
What I'm hearing from you is T-R-Y. You know what I mean by that? Like this happens and so then this and then this.
Also, there'd be each country says why people are other stuff, and
Ripple effect, because that's totally what I believe. And I think that's a really unique perspective.
let me each country is also there would be a lot of countries leftover. Some countries are
Right?
Smaller than others, yeah.
And what would,
and we can't just blow it up or dump it.
right, and what would we do with that? Where would that go? Over like crowding, right? That's factors in. Yeah, good, go with that. That's really good. That's a really unique perspective.
Small.
Very good.
So for your examples, so like when you say each country, their own rules.
I'm gonna do.
Dan broke something.
All good.
You could put down here, you know, when it's food, and then give an example, to be more specific, like why would that be different?
Yep.
They're not here to love you. That's for my
Here,
parents.
Alex, give that back to Miss Fallon. There you go.
That's not grading you. That's
You know what I mean?
People would try to
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna explain that one when I turn my assignment. Got a little dumb in here and there. That's all right.
behind them, and then a lot of deaths, not enough cemeteries. There would be a lot of leftover ammo. There would be a lot of dead people, and a lot of leftover guns. And then the workers up in the tree would get lightheaded since they're up there so paper and then low call it and then stores not having
Their
paper.
work, exactly.
That way we could.
All right, Miss Madden's class, I'm gonna call your attention one last time, okay? So I need everyone's ears because I'm gonna explain the next step. So we're getting close to the end of our time,
No.
but what I have for you is a piece of paper for your final draft, okay? I am going to pass this out to you, but it does not look like anybody's ready for that, and that's okay. We'll just
I
save
am.
it.
I am about thing where it says, what do you think we're the pieces?
Good. All right, so with this final draft, there is a space up above for you to draw a picture. And that's where I want to see you draw what you think Universal Peace would look like, all right? Reminder, even though we are talking about the military, keep it school appropriate, okay? We don't want weapons in there. That's not something that we can make school appropriate, okay? So I'm gonna pass these out to each of you. Save it until you're ready for your final draft, okay? And then this can go, to work on in like overflow work. When you finish the project and you finished Miss Mallon's work, you can work on this paper, okay? Something I wanna talk to you guys about when I come back next Wednesday. All right?
So wait, so that might be an example. Okay, put that there, that would be a great specific example. That's Anna's hand, and then we'll talk about.
I'm all done.
You're all done? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
So Afghanistan, Iran, United States.
I'm done, and I had another reason for this.
Okay, that's fine. Would you help do me a favor? Would you be able to pass these out to anyone who doesn't have them? It stops right here. Okay? So these girls in this row and everyone in the back who does not have one yet.
Rules. I was like, no, all you got is just add an S. That was when you just add an S. He does that.
I like the point that you made that we'd have a lot of weaponry that we wouldn't use. Yeah.
The people who work at the trees cut the trees fall lose control of the others, and then the people who cut it, which make it paper, will fall asleep on the drum, and the shredder would have to be shut down.
Bye, Miss Barrow.
Bye, Axon. See you tomorrow.
To write it on here, on your final copy, you want to kind of restate your opinion at the end. So it's not public. It just happened that she's doing this, but she's also.
They're my extra. Here's my extra.
Thank you.
I see.
And also some of your drivers who are transporting those
It's just weird timing.
letters
It does happen.
and other things. Like that falls on the job since they're busted. Like, come on, go.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick, okay?
And then crash, fall, and then everybody else would not see it, and then crash into that, and then explosion. And then
All right, Alex, give me just a second, friend. Is there anybody else who does not have a copy of a final draft page?
Wait, where do we
Your folder.
What?
What?
Where do we put this?
Do you have a folder you could put it on? Like a currently working folder or something like that? Go ahead and leave it in there.
dude, why
Abdul needs one?
I'm done, except the last one we don't have to do. But we have to do it on our draft paper.
I actually hate writing.
Everyone equal, no more more. Easiest thing to write, no wars. That's what peace is. Guess what? I put no wars either.
You have a lot of thoughts on that, right?
Two things. I really think you need to write